Hey everybody. Hello everybody. Thank you for joining us here, or joining me here. We are going to get into the concepts of the 30-day fast. I know everyone's getting caught up by this concept of a 30-day fast. Let me go into this. This is not a 30-day consecutive fast that you have to do. This is a 30-day fasting challenge. Okay, that's very important. So I want to get that clear right away. It doesn't matter. All that's required is to join. Once you've joined, you handle this any way you want. The idea of fasting and going into a longer fast is very different than the idea of intermittent fasting, alternate day eating, 1 day, 2 day, even up to 7-day fast. And I'm going to explain all of that. First of all, to address some of the comments that came in before that said, Dr. Don, you did a 30-day fast 6 years ago. You said you'd never do it again. What's the difference? Let me tell you. I stand by that statement that I will never do a 30-day fast like that again. This time we're doing completely different. It has a different structure, has a different order, has a different flexibility built in, because last time I did this, to get to my 30 days, I started with a 5-day fast. Like many people out there, maybe it was a 3-day, maybe you're trying 2 days. Started with a 5-day fast, and guess what? It was going well. So I extended it to 7 days. 7 days became 9 days. 9 days went to 10. 10 went to 12. Then to 14. Then to 15, and so on. 14 days was my longest fast prior. A few 12s, different things like that. I decided to keep pushing it on. Eventually, I got to a seminar where I was speaking at a conference, and another speaker on stage the day of, before the banquet, which is awesome, by the way, went on stage and said, "Hey, Dr. Don Clum, is he here?" I raised my hand. Everyone looked. He said, "Dr. Don has got 20-some days of fasting, and he's going for 30. Let's give him applause." And all of a sudden, I stood up, and everyone gave me applause and rooted me on, and all the rest of the day, they're saying, "Good luck with 30, good luck with 30. So guess what? I was going to 30, right? But that's how it got to 30. Not because I started off thinking I'm going to do a 30-day fast. If you were in my following back then, you might remember I would write, today is day 7 of my 5-day fast. Today is day 10 of my 5-day fast, because it was never designed, structured, or planned to be executed as a 30-day fast. Big difference this time. And this is what I want people to understand when you're planning out these fasting concepts. This is a 30-day challenge. My personal goal, as well as some people who will be in that challenge, is to do a 30-day consecutive fast. All right. A lot of people have no intention of doing a 30-day consecutive fast. Some people want to do a 7-day fast. This still applies. Some people want to do 2 5-days, or some want to do 3 days in over a week for 4 weeks. Whatever you want to do. And now that I've said that, that is my goal. I cannot tell you how many times I've started a 7-day fast only to end at 4, sometimes at 2. Fasting doesn't always go as planned. It looks good on paper, but it doesn't always equate to what happens. And you should know that too. And that's built into your lifestyle. If you can't build it into your fast, that kind of flexibility, then that's a one-off fast. And you get some benefits. You can buy the t-shirt. You can say you did it, but you're not getting the benefit of fasting. Fasting happens over time. Fasting happens over time. So if I might make the goal of 30 days, that's my intention. And I will track it day by day. Day by day. Every day, I'll track my weight, I'll have my metrics, I'll have my experience, and I'll also cover a topic on fasting that hopefully is associated with different phases of fasting, like the beginning phases of hunger, of cravings, of emotional eating in the beginning. Later on, as in concepts of how to bend a fast effectively to stay with it rather than break a fast and end it. There are concepts. What does it mean to be fasting? To be in a fasted state? Does it mean absolutely no food, no water, no sleep, no breathing, no whatever it is? People have a lot of different ideas. I will cover that. There's all sorts of different ways to fast, and no matter what you're doing, even if it's intermittent fasting, which is really called time-restricted eating in the old school guys like us book. So even if you're doing that, this will give you information along the way. Even if you just think, I want to see what these crazies are doing, you'll get that information too. I'll track my workouts. I will track my interactions. I will track as much as I can, and I will share it in that group. This is a unique opportunity to dedicate yourself to the concept of fasting, whether it's learning, opening your mind to it, trying some of it, doing what you've already done better, or pushing yourself to another level. Now, there are no rules. You cannot do it wrong. This is your experience, and it'll track with mine. You don't have to do mine or anything even close, right? If that's where you're at and you can do it, go for it, right? That's the concept of this. And this is a unique opportunity because starting April 1st, we're calling it April Fasting Fools Month. April 1st, forgive the phone, April 1st is when the 30-day challenge starts, to challenge yourself to do all things you can during that month and be in a society, in a group, in a community that is dedicated to the same thing. So, whatever it is, you're welcome to go in. And look, if I don't reach my 30 days, I will tell you. I can't tell you how many, I mentioned how many times fasting doesn't go as planned. It might happen this time too. And if I fall, I will tell you what happened. And I'll show you what I'm doing to get back on that horse, to get back to it. How do I plan out my recovery from the break from the goal? It doesn't mean the fast was a failure. It doesn't mean that I am bad or I have poor willpower. Things come up. Think about it like this. When people go to exercise, I know it's true for me. When I go to exercise, a lot of things can happen. I've had days where I plan out a perfect exercise. I have the equipment there. I have the music there. I'm geared up in my clothes and ready. I'm ready to go. And that exercise period, that training fell flat. That workout was just basically flat. I don't know why, but it was. I've also had times where I was whining and crying and moaning that I didn't want to do it, and I wouldn't have dragged myself to the gym to do it if I didn't have a workout partner waiting for me, and I reluctantly start the workout, and at the end of it, have a great workout. Would not have predicted that at all. All things being equal, I would have bailed completely. So you don't know. Same thing happens with fasting. They don't always go as planned. And if you've done them before, every time you do them thereafter, you will be different. A fast that you've done 3 or 4 times over the years is going to be different this time. Just like if you do a 2-day fast as your goal in the first week of the 30 days, and then you do another one the next week, another one the next week, and another one the next week, that fourth one will be dramatically different than your first one, whether you've done it in the past or not, because you will be different. It will compound. That's the idea. How do we commit to this concept? The things I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to have lessons and classes on during the 30 days in the challenge itself, are things like, how do I break a fast? What if I fall off? How do I get back on? What does that mean? How do I bend the fast instead of break the fast? What about women in fasting? What about men in fasting? What about seniors in fasting? What about kids in fasting? What about muscle in fasting? Am I going to lose all my muscle? Am I going to get too skinny? What if I'm already lean and I do a fast? Am I going to disappear? Is it going to be harmful? What about different contraindications to fasting? What about different types of fasting, starting in the morning, 24 hours versus full day fasting? What's the benefit of rotating fasting? Do I have to do a 7-day? Do I have to do a 30-day to get all the benefits for where I'm at right now? The answer is no, right? The answer is no, and I will address all of those throughout. I have worked with thousands of people through various forms of fasting. My programs that I do with different models of fasting have gone out to over 100,000 people. And we've gotten feedback. We've learned a lot. I've worked with people one-on-one all the way up through 7-day fasts with hundreds of people. I've worked with a handful of people, 8 of them now, who've worked between 14 and 30 days of fast. I've done it myself. I'm going to take all that experience and knowledge that I think I have and I can offer, and I'm going to put it in that group. And day by day, and I'll track my progress, and I'll tell you the real deal, and other people will be doing that too. The main point about doing this is committing. Sign up, jump on, and get going. Sorry, someone just came in to start 5 to 10 minutes ago. Started at noon. All right, so that's the key. Commit to it. Sign up. There's going to be a fee for it. Pay it. It's not going to be so much that you're going to freak out. We have to set it yet because we're still setting it up. That'll be announced in the 5-day challenge, in the 5-day course. Let's talk about that. 5-day course. If you have questions and things, you can pop them in there. I don't know who's on here. Just a few people viewing. We're mainly doing this for the recording for everyone who wants to look at it after. Okay, the 5-day course. What that is a different topic each day that we cover to start to prep and plan for yourself to roll into a fast. The 30-day challenge starts on the 1st of April for April Fasting Fools, right? And you can join that and you can use what you've built and learned as you roll in. If you're not ready from that information to roll into your fast, you can still join up and you can start your fast a week later, 2 weeks later, on and off. There are no rules. The fasting prep and planning crash course is just that. How do I prepare myself? How do I plan around this and get in the mindset for a 30-day challenge? The concept is to stay in the fasting mindset. Make some sort of fasting efforts, whether it's active fasting, rotational fasting, intermittent fasting, fat fasting, pseudo fasting, modified fasting, any kind that you like, doing something. And if not that, then you're learning about it. You're just asking the questions. You are reading, you are listening, you are interacting with other people who are doing the same thing as you do for 30 days. At the end of this, you will hopefully have more information and practical experiences from people doing the same thing than anywhere else available today, online or elsewhere. So, whether you want to do a 30-day consecutive fast like I'm planning to do, hopefully I'll get there. We will find out. Or you want to do smaller fasts, or you just want to learn about fasts, or you just want to see what these crazy people are doing on a 30-day fast, join. The time will come up this week where you can join in, but in the meantime, get into the crash course. It's free. It's a Facebook group. It's called 5-Day Fasting Prep and Planning Crash Course to a 30-Day Fasting Challenge, right? You'll find it. I'll put the link in the comments. Join up. That's the idea. That's what you want to do. Fasting can be extremely powerful. Powerful for the mind, for the spirit, for the body. The way I didn't plan on being the fasting guy. That wasn't my goal. I didn't say, let me check this career path that I want to do and I'm going to go into fasting, especially not 15, 20 years ago when it started to happen, or even more, right? Because it was taboo back then. Now it's a very common term. People are talking about it all over, applying it incorrectly a lot, but they're talking about it. It used to be taboo. You could lose your medical license like that if you went into this kind of stuff. People, it's amazing, but now it's okay. But that wasn't my plan. I got into it for my own health challenges. I was diagnosed but not confirmed with cancer twice. And that got me to tighten up my ship. I was in pretty good shape. I was younger. I was doing the right things. I needed to do more. And I searched and I discovered and I learned and I researched and I backed my way into fasting, and both issues resolved. Since then, I've had metabolic syndrome 3 times, each time around a major change in my life. Anyone relate with that? A major change in my life, moving from country to country or from state to state. That's when it hit me. My whole system went out of whack. I put on weight. I lost my motivation. I didn't do the things I needed to do. I was convenient eating as I'm getting reestablished. Guess what? Bam, metabolic syndrome. I've been on the borderline of obese several times, sometimes during that time. I've had up and down weight fluctuations in my life. This is where this comes from. What I'm be teaching from my experience, I do this professionally. People hire me and buy my programs to do these things. I'm going to use all of that information and share it with you. You have to decide what you want to do. If you have a question about emotional eating, you can post it in the group and I will tell you what I know and what I think and what I've seen about emotional eating. But I will not talk to Stacy about her emotional eating. Okay, if John comes in and says he has a problem with cravings, I will address cravings, but I will not tell John what to do with his cravings. Just like I won't tell any of you that you need to do this fast or that fast, this duration or this kind, or that you're doing it wrong. That's not what this is about. Anyone can join. Anyone can participate. You can dabble. You can go back and forth. You ask questions. Only thing you can't do is talk about your specific medical conditions, medications, or post product links. That's it. That's it. This is an interactive discussion community that's going to attract people who are looking to fast, learn about fasting, or open their mind to fasting. All right. There's a lot of people in there are going to be doing a 30-day consecutive fast, or at least that's their goal. Some of them less. Some will be doing every other day for 30 days. A couple people want to do 3 days on, 4 days off for 30 days. Some people are just getting into intermittent fasting and changing it up to an alternate day concept. That's okay too. You'll learn about all of that. And you'll learn about the difference in structuring a longer fast than you would a shorter fast. I know from doing a 30-day fast, several 14 and 12-day fasts, and working with a lot of people who've gone from 10 to 30 days before, that something happens in the body as you go. And almost all of those fasts, actually every one of those fasts, when they get to a certain point, all end up being pure water fasts. They don't start that way. That's the ticket. They don't start that way. I started that way when I did my last 30-day fast because it was supposed to be a 5-day. Right? I made it strict. I got dogmatic about it and I wanted to do it, but then it ended up being 30-day, and I went off and I came back on and I learned those things. And working with others, we learned some patterns about coffee, about tea, about flavored water, about water with electrolytes, about multivitamins, about things you take during a fast or don't take during a fast. We learned about crutches. What can help you bend the fast instead of breaking that fast? How can you stay in the best metabolic profile for fasting, the fasting metabolism, the fasting hormonal profile, while still not being 100% strict on your fast? How can you bend it for a moment, a meal, a day? How can you pause it in a holding pattern and come back to it and still carry over the benefit you've already achieved? There is no pass fail here. If someone jumps on and says it's water only or it's not a fast, go for it. Go, beat your drum around your fireside personal tribe over there. But this is not about definitions. This is about change. This is about training the body to be more metabolically flexible and metabolically fit, to actually have the body recycle damaged and pieces and parts and tissues that are not working well and replace them with brand new structures that will respond differently than before. We don't want you to look to get back to somewhere you were before, a health status, a weight status, a strength status. What we want you to do is to create a new relationship with food and stress from this. You want to have a new, different physiological reaction to food, stress, and life because of what you're doing here. And it's possible. Because what happens during fasting, the magic doesn't happen during not eating. That's just the signals going out to have magic happen. The magic in fasting is not from not eating. That's just when the body gets signals to make the changes it's going to change, if it makes the change that you're looking for. Okay? How you prep and plan leading into a fast influences that greatly. How you conduct the fast, a lot less. But you do have to do some sort of modified or version thereof. And once you've done the fast, how you then come off your fast and the time between your next fasting concept is crucial. That's when the magic happens. Okay, you stop eating, your body does an inventory. What's going on, where and what and how things working, what's there that shouldn't be there that we need to take out. What are some pieces that are expired, some cells that are expired that aren't working well? They should be sipping a Mai Tai on vacation at the beach, but they're not. They're still working. We need to show them that and have them retire. And then we need to hire the new labor of eager, young, stem cell based cells to take their place. Once they've taken their place, we need to be nice to them and encourage them so that they stay with their job and they don't think it's a hostile work environment and the turnover goes away, that those new workers just take off. That all that effort we did with fasting doesn't just get blown out of the system because we didn't support it right. There's 4 phases of the complete fasting cycle. Prep and planning. The support during and after. The fast itself is just one part. And then the reinforcement time between your end of your fast and your next fasting concept, or your lifestyle in between, whether you eat insulin friendly like we teach, or keto, or paleo, or whatever it is that you do. How do you line that up so it matches your goals in between your fast? Because fasting is ongoing. It's not a therapy. It's not a treatment. People say, I have ulcerative colitis. How long do I need to fast to get rid of that? And wrong question. You're not going to get an answer. No one can answer it. Good luck. You're looking for a pill, powder, or potion. You can't get that from fasting, right? People say, I want to dissolve the cholesterol in my arteries. I want to reverse my diabetes. I want to improve my pain syndrome that I have, my arthritis, my autoimmune condition, all of which is possible, but is not by a prescriptive days or type of fast. It's from a lifestyle based around this concept with fasting involved and planned out over time. And in the 30-day challenge, we'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how I do mine and show you how you can set yours up. That's why we're looking at it as a 30-day challenge for whatever fast you want to fill in that time, not just that fast. Say you only want a 3-day fast. This is not about a 3-day fasting challenge. There's plenty of those out there. Go for it. 5-day, week long. This is a 30-day. So if you want to get the 3 days, you need those 30 days to get the maximum out of that 3 days. If If you want to roll in another fast, you can compound it. If you want to do another fast that's longer in that time, you can compound it. But you're planning the whole 30 days to get the most you possibly can out of that fasting experience. And hopefully, you'll be able to carry that forward into your lifestyle moving forward as a lifestyle forever and live this thing. All right, so that's the concepts that we're going over. 5-day course. The fasting prep and planning crash course. Every day, different topic. How do you prep? How do you plan? How do you get your body a little bit ready to go into this fast? Because face it, there's no perfect time to fast. There's no perfect fast to do at any perfect moment. You have to just do it and prepare yourself the best you can. Prep and planning. 5 days of it. Learn it. Do it. Whatever you like. Rolling into a 30-day fasting challenge concept where you get to set up or learn from other people how to set up, mimic, or do your own thing of any kind of fast you want for the entire 30 days. Entire 30 days. Intermittent fasting throughout, at least stay in and learn the rest of more you can do. That's pretty basic, right? Pretty basic. Alternate day concepts or modified or pseudo fasting or very low calorie dieting, that's a little step up. You can do that too in between. Then you can learn about true fasting, day or more, not 24-hour. Know the difference between a day or more, and then extended fasting into multiple days, into long fasts, 7 days or more. It'll all be going on in there. This is an opportunity to learn about it, to see people doing it, and to start to plan your own interactions, your own schedule for yourself, and actually do what you've been talking about doing. A lot of practitioners out there talk about this stuff, and maybe they've done it in the past. Like me, I did a 30-day fast 6 years ago. I've done 12, 14 days in the past, but what about now? Well, I'm going to walk the walk and talk the talk. I'm telling you, I'm planning my 30 days out. I'm inviting you to come fast with me. Do your own version thereof. I'm going to teach every day along the way. Learn what you can. Ask questions. I will do the best I can from what I can to help give you information. And join it. And join in with me. If I fall, I'll tell you. And how I fell and why I think it happened. Then what am I going to do to get up? How am I going to get back on? What's the thinking? What's the strategy? Do I go back to zero? No, you don't go back to zero. How do we keep going? How do I continue to make my efforts in my 30 days a 30-day challenge? All right, that's what I'm looking to do. I am going to stop now and see if there's some questions out there. We do have some people viewing right now. I wanted to get that information starting at 12, going and on time. So thank you for sticking with me on that. I know it was a lot, but I'm going to take a pause now and we'll go into some questions. What do you got for me? Who's out there? I see Bruce. Hey, Bruce, how's it going? Started at noon. Hey, White House Chiropractic. Learning opportunity, one of the most powerful tools for wellness. It's powerful. It's completely natural. It's required for health and healing, whether we do it or not. And frankly, it's free. Think about how much you would save if you didn't eat for a month. For a whole month. What would you save? $500? $1,000? Most people will save $300 a week in DoorDash and booze alone. So, you can make money doing this. Learn about it along the way. Learn about electrolytes during your fast. Learn about water intake during your fast. Learn about timing of the day. Learn about the environmental triggers that go on during the fast and off fast. Learn about how to deal with people who say stupid things when you're fasting. That is a course in and of itself. As soon as someone knows you're fasting, people come out of the woodwork to tell you you're dying, that you're killing yourself. If you're doing it with other people, that you're killing them. I've had it happen. I have shirts that are made up that you'll see that say different things just because of the comments I get. It is absolutely outrageous. Francis, you must have come late. The 5-day crash course starts on Monday. The opportunity for the 30-day fasting challenge starts on next Saturday, the 1st of April. All right, so here we are. I was trying to keep this under a half hour. We have the time. Again, anyone can join. If you've never fasted before or have no intention of fasting and just want to learn, you can join. If you're an aggressive faster and you've done this a lot in the past, like myself, and you want to do an aggressive fast, you're welcome. There's no pass fail. There's no shaming. There's no judgment of what type of fast, what kind of fast, when and where, or how you do it. It's just support in the concepts that you need to know to do whatever it is you need to do, want to do, or follow what someone else has told you to do. Hey, Mary, no questions. It was that clear, huh? All right. All right, Francis. Francis, tell me again where you're at. You're over there. You're over there in Africa. A student, sharing my stuff, always asking me questions, really helping me think. I really appreciate you out there. Hey, Alita, good to see you. Good to see you on here. Hey, Jeff, can I continue my supplements? Yeah, that's one of the days of the prep and planning course is to go over supplementation. What does it mean? Can you take it? You can do whatever you want. Anyone can do whatever they want, right? I'll tell you how I see supplements impacting the body, metabolism, and the fasted state. You decide if that's what you want or not. Okay, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. You hear that? I don't need anyone suing me for giving medical advice or treating anything like this. I am talking general concepts. I can talk about any specific question as long as I do it in expanded context. Hope you understand that. I could talk about supplementation, but Jeff, I can't talk about your supplementation. I won't do that. It doesn't do justice, but I think you get the point. Not for me. Mark Harvey says not for him. Oh, come on. You can do it in the black. Did you hear the whole thing, Mark? You can do it any which way you want, even in a black taxi in London. Schedule for the first days of classes recorded. Schedule's all in the group. Go ahead and take a look. Jill is a past t-shirt winner. Got some struggling to lose weight this time around. The longest you've done is 48 hours. That's fine. Remember, it's a fasting challenge. It's time to put some skin in the game, jump into it, and just give that effort, plan it out, and do all you can in those 30 days, whatever that looks like for you. If it's just a 48 hours and go home, then this isn't for you. And honestly, the fasting's not going to do much for you, which I know is not your case, Jill. But if other people are thinking that, you got to expand your thinking, think big. Remember, the body plays a long game. Our genome is millions of years old. It's playing a long game. It knows everything and anything about us. We play hour by hour, meal by meal, workout by workout, stress by stress, sleep by sleep, day by day games. It's not how the body works, right? If you're thinking that you're going to do one thing one time and it's going to correct all these things, your body's going to laugh at you. Body's going to laugh at you. But if you leverage the long game and those primal genetic mechanisms that we do in our lifestyle around and during fasting, then you can work with the body and things can change fast. Weight can be lost faster than people can calculate. I've been called a liar because of some of the numbers that some of my people have gotten because it's not physically possible. Well, glad no one told them that because they lost it, right? Things can change fast. I got a question here, and we'll wrap up here soon. Is there anything like tea, such green tea, black tea, that need to be ready? It's not 5-day fast. It's a 30-day fasting challenge and a 5-day crash course. And I already mentioned that. So check it out. Come on, Francis. You're late to the party. All right, Jill. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. The recording will be in the 30-day fast, the challenge itself on Facebook. You can look it up. I'll put the link in the comments. You can go right there as well. And also be on my wall here. You can check it out anytime. All right. Tag me if you have any questions, and we will go from there. All right. Take care.